Hi, students. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to English 111. My name is Mrs. Dupree. I'm an instructor here at Gaston, and I have the privilege to be teaching you and working with you and helping you figure out the writing process this semester. So I am going to share my screen with you all. And we're going to do a whole lot of just trying to get you familiar with Blackboard and with the course and just giving you an overview of just what you're going to be seeing and experiencing as an online student this semester. So I have my Blackboard course currently in student preview, which means this is exactly what you should be seeing. This is not how I view it as an instructor, but this is for you as a student. So I'm just going to kind of go through the course and show you where certain things are at, and then really give you just a brief introduction into what we're going to be doing together this semester. So as you can see, when you open the course, you have Welcome to Week 1 in English 111 and the announcements section. Now, each week, probably either on Sunday night or Monday morning, you are going to be getting one of these announcements. Sometimes it will just be writing. Other times you will have a video with it. And what I'm going to be doing in those announcements, I'm going to be recapping what we talked about the week before. I'm going to be going over what we're going to be discussing that upcoming week. And I'm also going to probably dabble a little bit in talking about some Zoom conferences that we've done or areas where I see students are struggling. It is very important to your success that you watch these videos, read these announcements that you're going to get once a week. Typically, if I'm changing a due date, if I'm adding an assignment, if I'm taking away an assignment, if I'm making any kind of change to the schedule, this is where you're going to see it. So please make sure that you read this thoroughly, watch a video, read a clip if I've got some sort of document attached to it. Make sure that you make this part of your weekly routine. So that's in the announcement section. The next section that we're going to talk about is your course information. So in your course information, you've got your syllabus, your schedule, and your course requirements. And we're going to go through this folder first. So this is the course syllabus, which I'm going to go over with you in a minute. Your course schedule, which gives you a brief overview of what we're going to be doing for the next 16 weeks. Your online attendance and participation requirements, as well as netiquette, which is basically internet etiquette for any of you who have never taken an online class. So we're going to go through the syllabus real quick together. And I am going to make sure that I am sharing this screen. Here we go. Okay, so this is our course syllabus for this semester. Like I said, my name is Mrs. Dupree. This is my telephone number right here. That is my personal cell phone. I do give that to students. I find that it works really well. A lot of students really struggle with email communication. A lot of times it's just not feasible for them to sit down and write out an email. And so it's really easy to send me a quick text or to give me a quick phone call. I don't mind that. I'm totally fine with students picking up the phone and calling me or texting me. I'll talk a little bit about my boundaries as far as that goes, but I think it's a great way for you and I to get to know each other a little bit more, and for you to have pretty quick and easy access to me as an instructor. My office is located in Dalpias 136. For now, that is where I'll be. If anything changes due to COVID, you will be updated and you will know as a student. My office hours are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 11 a.m. and Tuesday, Thursday from 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. I do teach at the Lincolnton campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so there are times that I will do my office hours from there. Most of the time I will be here at the Dallas campus, but probably about one day a week I will stay over there. I live super close to Lincolnton, so it's easy for me and my family. So students, you are welcome to email, call, text, or set up a time to Zoom with me. I try to be flexible in communication methods to accommodate your various needs, and I do not take phone calls after 5 p.m. That's something I'm trying to do a better job of. Used to, I would take phone calls until I went to bed, but I am trying to learn how to have work-life balance. And so if you don't mind, you're welcome to send me a text, but I will not take a phone call after 5, and I probably will not text back until the next day. And so that's just for me to be able to have some family time. You're still welcome to send the text message, and I'll be glad to answer it when I wake up the next morning. So this course is designed to develop the ability to produce clear writing in a variety of genres and formats using the recursive process. The emphasis includes inquiry, analysis, effective use of rhetorical strategies, thesis development, audience awareness, and revision. When you complete the course, you will be able to produce a unified, coherent, developed essay using the standard written English. That being said, you're going to learn how to write. We're going to talk about various modes of writing. We're going to talk about types of writing. We're going to talk about how do you know what to write based on what audience you're talking to. There's going to be a lot of things and a lot of situations that we talk about in terms of why it matters to be able to write in the recursive process. So these are your general education competencies. These are your learning outcomes. When I go over your weekly folders here in a little bit, you're going to see where I place these. You are going to know every week what outcome you're going to be working on and that we're going to be demonstrating through our assignments. This is a 3-credit-hour course. And this course format, this is a completely online course. Your announcements, your syllabus, the content will all be delivered using Blackboard. You need to ensure that you know how to use Blackboard. If you have any questions, if there's something that you're questioning in your navigation, call me, call tech services, ask a friend. Do not fall behind in this course because you were uncomfortable with the navigation of the platform. So the great news for this course, you do have e-textbooks. Those e-textbooks are in your course shell, and I'm going to show you where those are. You are totally allowed to buy the book, but it is definitely not necessary and not a requirement. The APA and MLA guidelines are available at the bookstore. However, again, we're going to be going over those a lot in this course. It is not a necessary purchase. Technology requirements. It is vital that you have internet connection and access to Blackboard. This is an online class, and students are privileged at Gaston where they get to either choose an online course or a face-to-face course. Not having an internet connection unless there is an extreme circumstance is not going to be a reason to not complete your work. So please make sure that you have a plan, that you've created a plan or a time to either go to your local library, to go to a friend's house, make a plan and make sure that you're able to stick to that plan so that you can turn your assignments in. Gaston College uses Microsoft Office 2016 or Microsoft Office 365 for classes. If you do have Microsoft Office or 365, you can download those programs for free through your Gaston College email. I will show y'all how to do that in a later video, but you have that for free as a student. That is the only method that I accept essays in. I do not use PDF. I do not use text edit. I do not use any other platforms. Microsoft Office is the only thing feasible for me to leave you really good feedback, the kind that can show you sentence by sentence where you need to make different choices, or I can go and highlight and show you certain things that I cannot do on any of those other platforms. Chromebooks and mobile devices. Chromebooks are wonderful. For some reason, they do not always work well with Blackboard and Gaston College platforms. If you only have a Chromebook and there is something not showing up, if a movie's not playing, if an assignment's not popping up, if I'm talking about something in the video and you're not seeing it in that weekly folder, it is more than likely because you are working off of a Chromebook. So try to have a backup plan. Sometimes Chromebooks work fine and we have no issues, and other times I have students run into some pretty significant issues, particularly in not being able to see certain assignments and not being able to use Microsoft Word the way they need to. Do not rely on a tablet, an iPad, or your phone. There is no way to complete this course successfully on a phone. I can't express that enough. You can do some things like skim through your weekly assignments, but to properly do your discussion boards, to properly do your essays and your homework, it is just not feasible. Chrome works the best. Safari and Firefox do work, but I just, from seeing students' issues pop up, my own issues with Blackboard, Chrome is the best internet platform to use. Respondus. You may have to worry about Respondus in other classes. You will not have to in this class. I don't use it. And so if you need help with it, I would ask another instructor. We don't use it at all in this course. Student technology resources, computer access. Students, you have access to a computer lab. We have a lot of great labs here on campus. Our library has computers for you to use. We have pretty flexible hours for you to be able to come to campus. So if you ever run into a bind, come on to campus, you get that as soon as you register for your courses. If you're having any kind of issues with your GCID, Web Advisor, Blackboard student email, you need to call Technology Services. I have those numbers listed in the syllabus. They are also on our Gaston website. Get comfortable with using them. I still have to use them when I have things pop up with Blackboard, but that is a great resource for you. Class attendance and participation. The instructional work of the college is designed for participation and attendance. The responsibility for class participation and attendance is specifically on the individual student. Official college requirements are based on a 90% participation rate. Therefore, if a student has failed to participate in 10% or more of their scheduled classes, a student may be withdrawn by the instructor or assigned a grade of F until the withdrawal date for a violation of the 90% rule. For students violating participation requirements after the published withdrawal date, the grade of the F may be assigned by the instructor. Once an instructor has posted a grade, the student no longer has the option to withdraw from that class. Please see the student handbook for information about absences for religious observances. This policy does not remove the right of faculty to penalize a student for participation or attendance issues at any point during the semester. Here is where I kind of draw my line. You get assignments from me every single week in your weekly folder. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. If you do not submit an assignment for an entire week, I will send out an email warning and I will say, hey, I didn't hear from you this week. I didn't see any work. At that point in time, I will give you 3 days. That's a total of 10 days. At that point, if I have not heard from you or if I have not received any kind of work, you will be withdrawn from the course. I will make attempts to call and email you before the final withdrawal. Online attendance and participation. Basically, this is an online course. You do not have to come sit in class, but we do expect that you're going to complete all of your assignments. Your attendance is evaluated through your submission of your work. I can only know you're participating in the class if I see that you are turning work in. Tardiness policy. While this is an online class, the tardy policy pertains to your submissions. I do not accept late homework assignments. I have a 3-day exception policy with major essays, and please review those policies in the makeup portion of the syllabus, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Withdrawal. Students who have not participated for 21 consecutive days must be withdrawn by an instructor through the 70% points. That is a college policy. As you know, my policy as an instructor is if I don't see you for 10 days, see you, as in you haven't submitted work, then I'll withdraw you at that point in time. And the last day to withdraw from this class is November 4th, 2021. I'm going to say that one more time. The last day that you can withdraw from this class is November 4th, 2021. At that point in time, on November 5th, whatever grade you have in the course is what stands. So if you're making a C and you really wanted to be making an A, after November 4th, you cannot get out of the class. You're going to get whatever grade you receive at the end. If after that withdrawal date, you stop participating, you receive the grade of an F. Evaluation. This semester, you will participate in writing essays, completing homework assignments, participating in discussion, and reading and watching lectures. Each of these components will hold various values, and they will contribute to your overall grade. Most assignments have specific rubrics that share how you earn your grades, and do not hesitate to ask me questions about those rubrics. Your graded course activities. In this class, you're going to have homework, and that's going to be worth 20% of your grade. You're going to have discussion boards, which is worth about 15% of your grade. Essays, which are worth 50% of your grade. Now, that's a pretty substantial weight. Your first essay is more of a low stakes essay. It's not going to be worth as much as the next three. But the whole point of this class is that you come out learning how to write an essay. So that is weighted the most. And then your final portfolio, which is your final exam in this course. And it's actually not an exam, it's a corrected paper. And we're going to talk more about that as the semester progresses. That is worth 15% of your grade. Letter grade assignments, this is pretty standard. A is 90 to 100, B is 80 to 89, C is 70 to 79, and D is 60 to 69, and an F is 0 to 59%. Some of you are in programs or you have scholarships that require certain GPAs. I do not know what those are. So I stand by my grades. I have very specific rubrics that show where and how you get your grades. I do not curve. I will be very upfront about that from the beginning. I don't really believe in curving. The only time when I ever may bump a student up 0.1 or maybe 0.2. If I have a student that's a borderline 69.3 or 79.4 or 89.4, and that student has done every bit of their homework, they've never been late, they've communicated well, they've worked hard, then at that point in time, I might do a 0.1 curve or a 0.2 curve. More than that, I just don't do that in my class. Makeup policy. The student is responsible for all material covered in each course that they registered for. And no instance does absence from class relieve the student from full responsibility for the performance of any part of the coursework. In summary of this, if you have a family emergency come up, life happens, call me, text me, email me, and let's work together so that we can make sure that you can still be successful in the course. Class policy. I do my best to prepare you for upcoming assignments. Most often, you will have the opportunity to work ahead. A lot of times, I open the next week a few days in advance. For those of you who work or have busy lives, you'll be able to do a little bit of work in advance. I don't send those weekly emails except for that Sunday or Monday. But I try to give you this kind of preparation because I do not take late homework assignments. I do have a 3-day late policy for major essays. That's 50% of your grade. And you may have had a rough semester. You might be having a rough week. And if you need that extra 1, 2, or 3 days, I don't want you to drop the class because you couldn't complete an essay. So for essays, I do give a 3-day late policy. For each day that you submit your essay late, you do lose 1 letter grade. So if it is 1 day late, you begin at a 90. If you submit it 2 days late, you receive an 80. And after 3 days, I will no longer accept the essay. So at max, at 3 days, you'll start at a 70. But as soon as that 3rd day passes, you will receive a 0. Please understand, I know there are extreme circumstances that occur. If and when that happens, please communicate with me and we can work together to create a plan that makes sure that you can continue in the course successfully. Viewing grades, this is a big one. I grade every week. Your homework grades will be returned within 7 days, but your essays will take longer. I take pride in the feedback that I give to you, and I show you specific examples of places that you need to make improvements. Please allow me 10 days to give you adequate and necessary feedback. The outline and schedule, we're going to go over this. I do not include it in your syllabus. I put it in my course shell. Just know that course schedule can change. I try to stick by it, but things happen. If COVID gets really bad, if I get sick, if I can see that students are struggling and they're not keeping up, then I'm going to make some changes and I'm going to make some tweaks. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the schedule in this lecture. It's there, but it could possibly change. Your final exam is going to be on December 10th at 11:59 p.m. and it is going to be your final portfolio. That's nothing for you to worry about right now. I do not give tests. I don't give tests. I don't give quizzes. Your final exam, you're going to write several papers for me this semester. And your final exam / portfolio is going to be an opportunity for you to take one of those papers and correct it to create your very best work. Other important information. This to me is probably some of the most important information on the syllabus. No matter what your ability is, effort is what ignites that ability and turns it into accomplishment. And that is by Carol Dweck, who we will talk about quite a bit this semester. I believe the statement to be true. You are all coming from various writing backgrounds, experience, and levels of achievement. The goal of this course is to leave a better writer than the writer that you are the day you're reading the syllabus. The only way to ensure that happens is that you are giving your very best effort. You have to choose the kind of student that you want to be in this course. It is my greatest joy to walk alongside you in that process. Many of you will ask the question, how can I be successful in this course? I have students ask me this every term. That answer is contingent on what you define as success. I do not like to define success by grades. However, I will share you a few tips and what I deem a successful student. Students that succeed in this course need to have open communication with their instructor and ask good questions. Have a plan of action and how they plan to successfully complete their coursework each week. For example, my successful students usually have specific times every week carved out that they plan to do their homework. Use the Writing Center and other free sources that offer feedback. Do not see feedback as a failure, but use it as an opportunity to improve. Look for ways to improve your craft and seek resources to find a better understanding of concepts. Instructors love to give out more resources and help when they are asked. Work with your community groups effectively and openly, and we're going to talk more about that as the semester progresses. And never give up. Please know I find it a joy and a privilege to teach. It is not my job, it is a calling. I care about each of you and I do my best to create a space where you are accepted, comfortable, and enthusiastic about the learning process. If you are struggling with this course in any way, please communicate with me earlier than later. The earlier we work together, the greater potential we have to troubleshoot any issues you are having with the course or writing concepts. Again, this is my greatest joy to walk alongside you in your process. I have a few ground rules as we work together. Number one, have great respect for every person in the course, including me. We do a lot of discussion boards. We do a lot of collaboration and working together. Have great respect. That's a very simple rule, and it's easy to do. Remember that you've been given the gift of an opportunity to learn and grow that a lot of people do not have the privilege of. Challenge yourself and ask questions. You cannot learn what you do not ask. Guys, there is no dumb question. A lot of you are starting from ground zero. You don't have a lot of writing experience. You don't have a lot of college experience. You don't have a lot of online experience. That is okay. You cannot learn what you do not ask. Let's work together and make this a fun and purposeful semester. And then I'm briefly going to go over part 3. I'm expecting that you are going to go over this in better detail, but this is just a brief overview so that you have a full understanding of the syllabus. FERPA, long story short, FERPA means that I cannot talk to anyone about your grades except for you. If you have a parent, a spouse, someone that you are okay with me sharing information with, you need to call student records at this number right here and get them to sign a FERPA form. Your rights and responsibilities. In a nutshell, you have the right that I'm going to provide you a syllabus, which is what I'm doing right now, that my class will begin every Monday and end every Sunday. My weeks run from Monday to Sunday. That your assignments will be graded and in a timely manner. I put there within a week. Of course, essays take 10 days. That you will regularly use text and other materials in my class, and that the activities will adhere to college outcomes, which you will see every week. This is what I have the right to. I will read the syllabus, or no, you will read the syllabus and you will ask for clarification on anything you don't understand. That you will be here on time and leave on time in your weekly lectures. that you will wait at least 15 minutes for an instructor who is late. Since we're not meeting face-to-face, what that means is on Monday morning at 8 a.m., if that folder's not open, maybe give me 15 minutes. But typically I do open those Sunday night. That you will submit assignments that you have completed independently on time, and that you will obtain and use all the text in the course materials. Early alert, I will alert your success coach if I see you falling behind. If you are from a high school, I will contact your academic advisor. I am a big believer in community learning. If I see that you're falling behind, if I see that you're struggling, I'm going to bring other people in to try to help me figure out what's going on. Student Emergency Assistance Program. Guys, basically, this is a program that we have here at Gaston that if you do not have your basic necessities, if you do not have things that are going to help you be successful in class, like food, like basic items, financial barriers going on, contact this program and let's see if we can get that squared away so that you can be successful in this class. Student Outreach Services. Bottom line, sometimes life is just really, really challenging. This program provides enrolled students and their family members with access to clinicians who can assist with personal or academic related challenges and concerns. Student Behavior Policy. I'm going to let y'all read most of this. Bottom line, do not cheat. Have great respect for all of your course mates and me. Guys, I'm going to be very explicit about this. I have Safe Assign. Basically, what that does is it's a computer program that runs every single thing you turn in through a software system to make sure that it is your own personal work. With academic dishonesty, we have policies set in place here at Gaston. I will abide by those with no exception. Those are the rules that my college has put in place. First offense, informal coaching or a formal written warning. The office of the student will be notified of the offense. The second offense, the violation form will be submitted to the Office of Student Conduct, and a 0 for that assignment will be given. Third, a reduced grade, perhaps even an F, will be given to the course. Fourth, you will be put on disciplinary probation. And 5, you will be on disciplinary suspension and assigned a grade F for the course. So that's, again, I would look over that again. That's just a brief overview. Academic integrity appeal. A student who would like to appeal an academic integrity decision that affects his or her status at the college should appeal to the college faculty or staff member making the decision. If they're not satisfied, they should go to the appropriate supervisor, and I will show you that contact information here shortly. Academic complaints. Guys, what this means is if you feel that in some way I am not doing my job or there's something with the course that you are uncomfortable with, here's what we're going to ask you to do. First, I'm going to ask that you come to me. I do take great pride that I try to operate a class that makes everybody feel accepted and comfortable. And if for some reason I did that in a way that didn't make you feel comfortable, or there's something that you're confused about, or a grade that you're not understanding, let's talk about it. I try to have an open door policy, an open phone policy, so that you and I can communicate effectively, and so that I can clear up anything that you may not understand. If for some reason, after we have that conversation, you feel that you need to go to someone else, my department chair is Dr. Joe Argent, and that's his contact information. And my dean is Ms. Tanya Broom, and this is her contact information. ADA statement. Essentially, for those of you that have any disabilities or anything that you need me to know about so that you can complete your work and you can receive the kind of accommodations that you need to document that with the Counseling and Career Development Center. That is their telephone number, 922-6224. I cannot give accommodations without that documentation. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and that is the telephone number. Electronic communication devices, this doesn't really pertain to us because we're not face-to-face. Campus safety and security. Most of you, if you're taking this class, you might be taking all online classes. If you're not and you have some face-to-face, here are some resources for you. We have our campus police number there. We have the GC alert where if you sign up for it, we can send you different things, whether it's weather related or just something going on that you need to know as a student. And then just familiarize yourself with various emergency situations and the responses highlighted in the emergency response guide. And then I would put this phone number in your phone if you're on campus, especially if you have a night course, just for your own safety and protection. So guys, I know that was lengthy. That is it for the syllabus. We are going to go back to our Blackboard course shell. So that was the syllabus. Now we are going to take a look at this schedule. And again, I'm going to share my screen with you. This is just a brief overview. This kind of gives you an idea of when you're going to be doing major assignments, major essays. I have some discussion board and homework stuff in here. Guys, again, I want to make this very clear. This is what I think is going to happen. However, if things come up in the semester where I need to make adjustments, I will do that. If I were you, I would download this. I would keep it on my computer or print it off. However, I wouldn't pencil it into my day planner. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. Please note, most of your homework is due on Wednesdays and Sundays. All work is due at 11:59 p.m. However, there are a couple times when your work will be due on a Friday to ensure I have adequate time to give you feedback before a major deadline. For example, you may have an outline due on a Friday so that I can give you feedback before you do your rough draft on Wednesday. I would encourage you to keep the schedule printed out. All discussion boards typically require a response. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. However, occasionally there will be notes that say no response required. Unless you see this notation, assume a response is due by the end of that week at Sunday at 11:59. Each discussion board will have instructions that indicate what you need to do that week. Read them thoroughly. Make it an academic habit to glance through your weekly folder on Monday mornings. I'm going to say that one more time. Make it an academic habit to glance through your weekly folder on Monday mornings. By glancing through that weekly folder and skimming through the discussion boards, you will be able to plan how much time you need for your weekly assignments. Some weeks are heavier than others, and I do not want to catch you off guard if your discussion board requires a lot of work that particular week. So let's get in the habit of creating an action plan each Monday morning. This will help you be more successful, and it will create less stress throughout your course. In your weekly folder, you will see due dates for that particular week. You will always submit assignments to your weekly folder. I do not accept work via email. I'm so excited to get to work with you, and this is an exciting time in your life. You get to be in charge of how much you learn. You get the opportunity to grow as an academic and an individual, and you get to consider the person you want to become. That is a gift and a privilege. Okay, so that is your schedule. I am going to go back to the course shell here. Online participation, we went over that in the syllabus. Netiquette, guys, it all kind of falls under the have great respect for one another. So we've gone over announcements, we've gone over course information. Here is my faculty information. You've got my email there, you've got my phone number, you've got my office location, my office hours, the best way to contact me. This is just a little bit about me and my background. I graduated from West Lincoln High School. So for any of you West Lincoln people, I am in good company. Completed my undergrad work at North Carolina State University and my graduate work at East Carolina University. I got my second master's degree at Wayland Baptist University. I've had the opportunity to work and learn from a lot of brilliant teachers, one of them being my mom. And I still feel like I'm learning year by year with my colleagues. I love my job, but my family is my entire world, which is why I'm trying to have more of that work-life balance. I have a wonderful husband who I married at 21, and we have 3 beautiful children. My daughter's name is Adeline. My oldest son is JT, and I have a new baby whose name is Colt Wheeler. They are all 2 years apart. So I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and one that was just born in March. So we're a busy family. In my spare time, I like to adventure with this crew. We are very involved in our local church, and I'm a big reader, which I'm sure comes to no surprise. Most of our days are spent with one another, and we spend a whole lot of time at my dad's farm in West Lincoln. Teaching is a calling for me, and it is my joy and privilege to learn with you. So that's just a little bit about my faculty information. Course materials, this is the big one. This is where you are going to find your weekly content. Every week, you're going to see something like this pop up, and this week is week 1. You're going to see your objectives. Those are those things that we are concentrating on all semester long. And then you are going to have clear-cut homework assignments. Guys, this is why I say that schedule that's in course information, we're going to hold that loosely. This schedule that's on the weekly folder, that is what we live by. I will not put an assignment up here if it is not happening that week. So this is kind of where you can gauge, oh, she took this off of that schedule. If it is on this weekly folder, that means that is what we're doing. So you're going to click on this week 1 and you're going to open it up. And I don't have the whole lecture done because I'm recording for this week, but this is where you're going to have your lecture notes, your lecture videos, all the material that you're going to need to learn that specific week. Under this, this is where your discussion boards and your homework assignments are going to be. The first thing that you're going to see this week is your syllabus agreement. The second you're done watching this video, that is what you're going to go do first. That's going to be due on Wednesday. The next thing is you're going to have your discussion board, your introductions. Let me show you something about the discussion boards. You are going to click on that discussion board, and this is a first post discussion board. What that means is that you have to create a form before you can see what all of your colleagues are saying. So you're going to need to click on create thread. And then that's how you're going to get started on that. I always have the word count, the due dates, and what I'm asking you to answer. This week, we're going to be going over introductions. You're just going to tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what your experience is like in writing, your hobbies, your interests. I just want to get to know you a little bit more. So that is your discussion board. And then underneath that is going to be your first assignment this week. It's called writing background. This is a low stakes. I'm not grading grammar. I'm not grading where you're sticking periods. I just want to learn more about your writing background. I want to know what you're concerned about from this course, your worries, your frustrations. I want to know if you feel super confident. If you are this fantastic writer and you are not stressed about this, then I want to hear what you have to say. And I even gave you a little example below. This is a great example for me to show you how to submit an assignment. You're going to click on this assignment. You're going to use Microsoft Word and you're going to type up your little 300 word at minimum response to these questions. And then you are going to save that document to your desktop or wherever you save assignments. And then you're going to browse local files. And this is how you're going to submit that assignment. So again, I don't have everything ready to go for this week, but this is truly what your weeks are going to look like. You're going to have your lecture notes, your videos, everything you need to know up here. And then below is where you're going to have all your assignments. Every single thing that you will need for that week will always be in your weekly folder. I try to do that to keep it very organized so you're not fumbling around Blackboard and trying to find something. It just makes it easy for you. So that's course materials, essay topics and handouts. This is where you're always going to find your essay handouts. Now, if I'm introducing an essay that week, it will be in your weekly folder, but just so you're not having to go back and forth to your weekly lectures and searching for stuff, I also keep it in the topic and handout section. The one thing that you're going to see here right now, because I haven't introduced your first essay, is the discussion board rubric. This gives you an idea of how I'm going to be grading those discussion boards. Below that are your ebooks and materials. These are your 2 textbooks. The good news for you, I most of the time will link the actual chapters that you're going to be reading in those weekly assignments. So you won't have to go fumbling and looking through them. And then again, you can see your discussion board. The only thing is your discussion boards are already embedded in your weekly folders. And then, of course, your grades are down here. Here's some resources for you: tutoring services, tech support. We don't use Respond as online success tips if you need some tips on how to be a better online student, and then other campus resources as well. Guys, just a quick overview one more time: course information. That's where you're going to find your syllabus, your schedule, and the course requirements, my grading policies. Faculty information is right here. Your course materials are where you're going to find those weekly folders. That is vital to your success. And you're going to check that every single Monday morning. Every Monday morning, you're going to open it up, see what you've got going on that week. And that way you can have a really good plan of action as you navigate when you're going to work that week. Your essay topics and handouts. This is where I'm going to be keeping your essay materials, but you're also going to get those as I introduce them in your weekly folder. Your ebooks and materials are right here. And then, of course, your resources and grades are below here. I hope that was helpful. I hope you feel prepared and ready to go, and you have a greater understanding of how to navigate Blackboard. Please do not hesitate after watching this video. If you have any questions and there's something you're not quite understanding, let's talk about it early so that you feel confident in navigating this course for the rest of the semester. And with all that, let's get started.